No one can hold you down. They can only knock you down. Only you can keep you down. It seems very trendy, like trendy inspirational talk, but really it's actually biblical. So the idea is, in the sermon, Jesus said, my seed has to die. An oak seed has to die for an oak tree to grow. A mighty oak tree that comes from a little seed. And so when I go through challenging times, I went through some challenging times over the last couple of weeks, and that sermon came, and that verse came into my head. And how I viewed it was, my ego had to die. How I was looking through my mortal self, how smart I am to handle the issues and the problems that I had. How could I do that? And what was that doing to me? How was that stopping me? Because my ego can only process so much. My ego has to die for the seed to die and to reach maturity. The old container that was holding the seed must burst, and then it must grow into its actual God-given size, a mighty oak tree, through learning or through reaching out with its roots, through enduring weather, maybe birds pecking at it, whatever it endures to become an oak tree. It takes a long time for a seed to become a mighty oak tree. Maybe not in real time, because God's time is different than our time. But the idea that all the things a seed must endure to become an oak tree, but its purpose is to become an oak tree. Your purpose is to become your Christ self. The closer you get to God, the more you get your ego out of the way and let the truth come into you. That all of this is just an illusion and a trial. It's part of your emotional evolution, because your spirit doesn't die. So there's even this one lifetime you're going through. It's only a challenge and a test for you to become your Christ self, to shine in your Christ-like glory, because that's who you are. He said, we're the light of the world. That's why. Greater is he that is in you that is in the world. Right? And if God be for us, who can be against us? If you go through your Christ self, stuff can't stop you. Because the stuff that's trying to stop you mostly is how you're interpreting things around you. You can interpret it as a stop, or you can interpret it as a lesson. Okay, what am I supposed to learn from that? Anything. What am I supposed to learn from that? That person broke my heart, right? I lost that job, huh? I made a bad financial decision, right? Somebody stole some money from me, whatever it was. Somebody broke your heart. Somebody stole your girlfriend, your wife, your car, your boyfriend, something that you thought was loving, that you loved, that you had possession to, was taken or was lost. And now our ego fights to hold on to this temporal world, which really, it's a spiritual world. It is a spiritual world. I'll say that a couple of times so you get that. If you see through the spirit, which is truth, and not the intellect, but you can be a genius and figure great things out, and write computer programs or great works of music, or whatever, however you define intelligence. Except that if you don't see it through the simple eyes of truth and a child, and the step to wisdom, and the first step to wisdom is the respect for God. So if you respect the God within you, then everything that's challenging you, everything that seems beyond your measure, everything where the world is against you, where things are against you, really nothing's against you. Everything is for us. If God be for us, who can be against us? Even ourselves, because that's the only one holding you down when you get knocked down. The only one holding you down is yourself, is the suppression of your growth. That's what you feel. It's overcome the inertia. How a seed must overcome the inertia to become a tree, a glorious tree in the sun, and be a house for birds, and be able to make houses out of it, or whatever the purpose of that time, in the forest, and give us air. The great purpose of that tiny seed is to become its full mature version of itself, and give the world the joy that comes from that version, and all the lives that seed touches, all the lives, once it's in its mature state, all of it touches. But it has to go through those steps, and that's just what we're going through. This is a step in our evolutionary process. This is not the end. Death is not the end, and Jesus taught that death is not even the end. What you think is death is just a veil. Your soul is eternal, and you're on a journey. And while you're on the journey, realize what a wonderful opportunity you have to change and touch people's lives. What a great opportunity you have to show the Christ in yourself, the light in yourself that you can share with other people. Because that's what we're really here for, to express God. So I hope those words have gotten you out of the valley that you're in. Because the only valley that you're really in is in here between my two hands. That's my valley. That once I get the strength and the intelligence and the wisdom that comes from my Christ self, there is no difficulty you cannot come. There is no difficulty that you cannot overcome. Greater is He that is in you. But your purpose is to show yourself and others unconditional love. And then this beautiful world that we live in, this glorious world we live in, every joy that's in it is yours. It was made for you. It was made for your joy. It was made for your, get it? So you can become enlightened by the light that's within you, by letting your enlightenment shine with other people. And that is the truth. And I love you guys so much. Show yourself and someone else some unconditional love today. And I hope these words have reached somebody and touched them, because it comes from my deepest divine nature to show you how much I actually love you. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next week. And that is the truth. And the truth shall make you free.